Chelsea linked to Dortmund £65 million man Christian Pulisic. Updates on Thibaut Courtois and Eden Hazard to Madrid or not to Madrid. Jack Butland reportedly emerges as the favourite to replace Thibaut Courtois at Chelsea, going for a different Juventus centre-back in Caldara instead of Hugani. Also Bakayoko possibly on his way out, and as well as that, linked to Arsenal's Ramsey. A little rant about not using the talent that we do have at the club already, and so much more today. To find out about all of that in detail, make sure you watch all of today's transfer show. Hello there guys, and welcome back to 100% Chelsea for another episode of the transfer show. And this is the show where we give you all the latest news surrounding Chelsea Football Club, whether it is about any players coming in or going out. And if you don't want to miss out on any of that, do make sure you subscribe to 100% Chelsea if you haven't already. And also don't forget to click that notification bell button and choose to be notified about all uploads. And as always, I'll set you guys a like target. Let's see again whether we can hit 600 likes or more on this video. That'd be absolutely amazing. So do make sure you smash the like button down below if you do enjoy our content. But now getting into the video, but as we weren't able to provide you with an episode of the transfer show since Friday for various reasons, I've got quite a bit of catching up on the news over the weekend and today to do. So I might not go into as much detail as I usually do, but I'll still try my very best, of course. So firstly, it is reported that Stoke City's Jack Butland has emerged as Chelsea's first choice candidate to replace Thibaut Courtois. Well, at the same time, Sky Sports have confirmed that Courtois will only be sold by Chelsea once a suitable replacement has been, sourced or found or signed. They always keep using different words, basically. And I don't think Jack Butland is that whatsoever. And also, I do hope that the club agree with me on that Jack Butland is not a suitable replacement for Thibaut Courtois in the slightest. Sky also said that Courtois will join up with Chelsea as planned if no deal is found with Madrid by then. Now, over the weekend, it was also said that Real Madrid made a £100 million offer for Willian and Thibaut Courtois together, which was then later or today denied by other sources in Spain that stood by saying Madrid only want Thibaut Courtois, but don't want to pay more than £32 million for him. And in all honesty, I'm now getting to the stage where the names we're being linked with for that goalkeeper spot are pissing me off so much that I'm like, what's £32 million in today's market? That's basically nothing. You know what I mean? Nothing. And the likes of Butland, Pickford, Schmeichel, etc. wouldn't cost us any less than what we get for Courtois at the moment. And what if any of those three don't end up being as good as we're hoping for, just don't end up being very good, and we end up selling them again next summer for less than we bought them for, now possibly, and end up signing a better goalie, next season after hopefully being back inside the top 4 at the end of the season anyway? Might we not just as well keep Thibaut Courtois for the season, even if it means losing him on a free next summer? Because I'm starting to think so, because I'd rather get nothing for Courtois than have some average goalie like Butland, Pickford or Schmeichel in goal this season. I mean, if we did in theory sign Donnarumma from AC Milan, fair enough. But the other three? Nah, I don't like it, I don't see it. I mean, do I see the club not selling Courtois, even if it is only for £32 million, if Courtois continues to refuse to sign a new deal? Not really, because Chelsea don't turn down money and don't like wasting money. We might be able to get better goalkeepers next summer. Other goalkeepers, better goalkeepers might become available. And also, if we do make top 4 and do enter the Champions League again, it's a whole different scenario as to who we can get. I'm not saying, we'll get Oblak automatically next season or, I don't know, something crazy like De Gea, but maybe better and hopefully better than Butland or Schmeichel or Pickford, because I'm sorry, I don't rate them. I'm not English, and I think a lot of English people, some would like their St. George's flag glasses on when they look at Pickford just because he had a few good games to the World Cup. Do you know what I mean? I just don't rate them. Now, I'm not sure if Lewis mentioned this on Friday, but reportedly Real Madrid have also basically given up on signing Eden Hazard, as Chelsea's valuation of him is way more money than Madrid are willing to spend on him. And they apparently decided to rather focus on the likes of Isco and Marcus Asensio. Interestingly, the exact same thing was reported just before the World Cup when the new manager Lopetegui was announced as their manager. So it's kind of interesting that the same, story was reported within 5-6 weeks in between. Let's just see what happens. But at this stage, I really don't see Hazard leaving this summer anymore. I think it's just too late for Chelsea to accept a bid. Fingers crossed, basically. And I'm just hoping that he'll also end up signing a new deal as well if he does end up staying. And as I'm speaking about Eden Hazard, it was also reported that Maurizio Sarri might want to make Hazard the new Chelsea captain. I'm not quite sure whether that implies that Cahill will leave, but either way, I actually think it's a good idea. I mean, he showed for Belgium in the World Cup and on multiple occasions that he is a leader, so even a vocal leader, even though that's not his main asset, of course. but it also shows him that we value him extremely highly and might also play a factor in keeping him at the club longer term. Now, of course, I know that people want Azpilicueta to be the captain, but if making Hazard captain makes him stay and possibly even sign a new deal with us, I don't think anyone can have a problem with that. Now coming to the next report, and that is about Chelsea apparently moving their attention from Rugani towards Mattia Caldara, also Juventus centre-back. Basically, Juventus seem to be asking more for Rugani now than they originally were, and that has apparently swayed Chelsea to try and sign Caldara instead. Now, Caldara was signed by Juventus in January of 2017 from Atalanta Bergamo, but was then sent back on loan to Atalanta for 18 months, basically until this summer. And for the first time really now is playing with Juventus, as he has featured in, pre-season games for them already. Now, as you might know, I generally don't really see the point in signing a centre-back, as it sure seems like David Luiz is staying. Of course, if Gary Cahill, leaves, there is a spot there, but that could also be filled by the likes of Ampadu and, or Zuma, or if we're desperate, have Azpilicueta play at centre-back when need be. But mainly, Caldara is just not anywhere near as good as Rugani, but would apparently still cost us around 40 million euros, and that's just mind-boggling to me. Although saying all of that, Alfredo Pedula, one of the leading journalists in the whole story about Maurizio Sarri and Jorginho coming to Chelsea, said that we've offered Alvaro Morata, plus 55 million euros for both Rugani and Higuain combined. So, make of that what you will. Who knows what to believe at the moment? It's all over the place, really. There's not that much, longer left in the transfer window. It shuts next Thursday, I'm pretty sure. So, like next week's Thursday. So, just over 10 days, basically. There's also the stories about Morata possibly leaving for Italy, where both Juve and AC Milan have been mentioned, even though Sarri made some very positive comments about him after the game against Inter on Saturday. While he also said some other things that could be understood as being about Morata, when he said that we want to keep our best players, but not if they desperately want to leave, basically. But that, of course, could also be about Thibaut Courtois or Eden Hazard in theory. I didn't see him say it, and I didn't see the lead-up question to it, so I'm not too sure if that was necessarily about Morata. It might have been. Generally, it seems like a lot of these things kind of are connected, because there's also Juventus apparently trying to re-sign Bonucci from AC Milan and possibly involving Caldara and Higuain in that deal. So maybe we're trying to still get Morata to Milan if we are trying to offload him basically and get Higuain and Rugani ourselves. There is a lot of theories out there. Although the Higuain, joining Chelsea seems a lot less likely at the moment, even without him being linked to Milan as well. Like I said, it's a bit all over the place at the moment. It's very difficult to judge which reports could be true, which reports are definitely utter bullshit, and what to believe really. I personally think that Morata is probably going to end up staying, that we won't sign Higuain, but that we might still end up signing Rugani and not Caldara, but we'll just have to wait and see. There's also talk about Timur Bakayoko being loaned out or even sold, possibly to AC Milan as well. I kind of hope that does happen, because Bakayoko still looks absolutely useless, and arguably, as expected actually, even worse in Sarri's system than he did look under Conte. So all of those stories between Juventus, Chelsea, AC Milan could kind of be combined, could also be completely separate from each other. Then there's also been some more minor reports about Chelsea apparently being set to make an offer of 115 million euros for Lazio's Milinkovic-Savic. I spoke about that already last week, or I spoke about him already last week. Again, he's a very good player, but I really don't see Chelsea paying that amount of money. Like 115 million, that's a lot. That's a bloody lot. And basically, I just think those reports are a bit of garbage, in all honesty. I told you there's a lot to get through today, because we're still not done. We're also being linked to Arsenal's Aaron Ramsey for a reported fee of £30 million. Although he isn't a bad player at all, I said it before, I want Ruben Loftus-Cheek to start in midfield, who, by the way, let's just talk about him, by the way, just reported back to training at Cobham today, a full week earlier than was expected of him. He was meant to come back next Monday, basically. So fair enough to him, fair play to him, although I really hope, he got enough rest and isn't putting too much on his body right now by, coming back early, because rest is extremely important. He played in the World Cup. Yes, he didn't play every game, but they still train basically every day, don't they? So it's not like he was just sat on holiday just in Russia instead of Spain. That's not how it goes. So, I hope it's fine for him, but I still properly rate the spirits and effort. But back to Ramsey, I don't see any truth to the story at all. I very much doubt that we're gonna actually sign Aaron Ramsey. I don't think that we're actually after Aaron Ramsey. I just think that's all very strange. But at the end of the day, I don't really know, it's just speculation on my part. But now coming to arguably the biggest story, and that is about Chelsea apparently considering to sign the American winger or attacker midfielder, plays in both positions, Christian Pulisic, or Pulisic, who knows how to pronounce it, from Dortmund for a reported fee of £65 million, only if Willian ends up leaving though apparently. As it was reported at the end of last week that contract extension talks between Pulisic and Dortmund broke down. Now, I do see the whole point of signing Pulisic opening up the whole American market for Chelsea, and that certainly isn't something to disregard on a financial and, marketing level and, basis. But the team's success and performance should be the main priority. And don't get me wrong, Pulisic is a good player, but he's 19 years old. And he's not exactly like Mbappe or like the next Messi. And I'm actually going to go on a little rant here because, can we stop fucking signing young players that aren't actually significantly better than our own youth products? Why the fuck would we sign Christian Pulisic for £65 million when we have Hudson-Odoi sitting there and doing extremely well in pre-season right now, who's just 2 years younger than him? I do not see the point. We definitely wouldn't spend £65 million on Christian Pulisic to just sit him on the bench. That's definitely not going to happen. And we keep doing stupid bullshit like that. Just look at selling Chalobah to sign bloody Bakayoko, or these Rugani/Caldara rumours when Ampadu putting in shifts in pre-season. And even Kurt Zouma is still there as well. I mean, apparently he's injured, that's why he didn't fly to Australia, and that's why he wasn't involved yesterday. I'm not sure what kind of injury it is, so I'm not sure if we're still planning with him or not. But in theory, he's there as well. Or you could also argue the same thing for Rudiger and, Nathan Ake when we sold him. While I do like Rudiger, Ake's still a very good player. Do you know what I mean? We keep doing that, and if you're going to be a bit more out there about that argument, you could make that same argument for Alvaro Morata and Tammy Abraham and Dominic Solanke even. When we signed Morata, he was 24, wasn't he? That's young. If you sign a 24-year-old, if he does do well for you, it's very unlikely that the players that are 18, 19, 20 at the time are going to make it. Because, by the time they're actually good enough, say at 22 or 21, when they reach that age, Morata still wouldn't be very old. So if Morata's still doing well, they wouldn't really make it at Chelsea, realistically, unless we change to a up top, formation, which we definitely won't now under Sarri. So these whole signings, they just make no sense. And it's just, do we not understand how much talent we have in our academy? As soon as you see someone like Pulisic just does well at Dortmund, they're like, oh, he's the next big thing. But we have Callum Hudson-Odoi sitting there, who's 2 years younger. And I don't get it. I mean, I know some of you might now say, why do you want to sign Bailey but have such an issue with signing Pulisic when he's just a year younger than Bailey? And I get that point, but it's pretty simple to explain. Because I see Leon Bailey as a much better player than Christian Pulisic, and also a much better player than Hudson-Odoi right now. Bailey had a better season than Pulisic did in the Bundesliga at a worse team, and Hudson-Odoi is only 17 while Bailey will turn 21 in a few days. By the time Hudson-Odoi is, Bailey's age, Hazard will be 30. And you could have Bailey and Hudson-Odoi as starters in theory. I'm not saying Pulisic can't improve and become a very good player, but £65 million is more than what Bailey would reportedly cost us, and he's not as good as Bailey. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I really hope that we won't sign Pulisic. Not that because I don't have an issue with him, but first of all, because he's so expensive, and because I want, Hudson-Odoi to do well, and I really want us to keep him this season. And obviously, like I said, I want us to sign Bailey. And also, at the same time, I wouldn't mind Martial, who certainly looks like he's on the way out of Manchester United, especially after Mourinho's meltdown a few days ago. What is going on with him? Calm down, lad, basically. But I don't want Martial instead of Bailey, by the way, just to make that clear. I wouldn't mind Martial as a striker option, Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. Kind of like a much younger, taller and stronger version of Dries Mertens, possibly. Either way, talk about so much today. Let's leave it at that. That's it from me. Leave me all of your thoughts on everything that I've mentioned today down in the comment section below. And I do know it's a lot, but leave me your thoughts on it. About Pulisic especially, and Bailey and Hudson-Odoi. I think that's the main thing, but obviously anything else you want to comment on, leave it down in the comment section below. Like I said in the beginning, let's see whether we can hit 600 or more likes in this video. That would be absolutely amazing. So, like I said, smash that like button down below. We would massively appreciate it. Also, don't forget to check out my social media, which is Last1507 on both Instagram and Twitter, as you can see over here. And also the links to both of them are down in the description below. I'd massively appreciate it if you could follow me over there. I'm very close to 2,000 followers on Twitter and close to 1,000 followers on Instagram as well. So if you could help me reach that, that'd be absolutely amazing. And of course, it is YouTube, so I have to say it. If you haven't subscribed to 100% Chelsea yet, do make sure you do so. And also don't forget to click the notification bell button and choose to be notified about all uploads so you don't miss any of our future videos. Thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea, and I'll see you next time.